Hello and welcome back to the channel. Since so many of you liked this video, I figured I would do a version for Instacart, and since there's always new shoppers, I figured it'd be a good video to do. Again, by no means am I an expert. There's no perfect way to do Instacart or any of these jobs. I've been doing Instacart for a few years now, and these are just some things that I have noticed and picked up along the way, and mistakes that I commonly see being made by beginners, but just people in general, and even mistakes that I've made myself. So let's get into it. The first mistake that I commonly see being made is not looking at the delivery notes when you accept an order. It seems like a lot of people don't know that you can do this. Once you accept the order, you can hit the three little dots at the top right, then hit batch details, and you can see if the customer left any notes. You can see their address, their name. And the reason this is important is because if you're just starting out, or even if you're not just starting out and you don't know this exists, sometimes it's helpful to know what kind of order you're getting yourself into. There are definitely orders that I have dropped because of the customer's notes, and there are a million reasons that seeing these notes or the delivery address is helpful, but altogether it's a good idea to check. Another mistake I commonly see being made is taking orders for stores that are really far away from you. The best thing to do is test out different markets that are near you, different cities, and see which ones have a high order volume and pay well enough. Once you do that, you want to try to stay in that area, because unless it's a really good order, you don't want to be driving from one city to another city to another city, because then at the end of the day, you're going to be so far away from where you started, and also you're wasting a bunch of miles driving to these stores. And once you learn an area well enough, you should be able to gauge how many orders a day you might be able to get. And if you're going to cities or places you're unfamiliar with and trying to then work there after that order, there may not be anything. Another thing is to learn the store that you're shopping at and try to get your shopping time down. When you first start out, you probably want to pick a store that you're already somewhat familiar with, and you want to do orders that are 5 to 10 or maybe less items. This way here, you're probably getting a good mixture of different sections throughout the store, and it's going to help you to memorize where everything is. The reason shopping time matters is mostly just so that you can get done as many orders as you can in a day. When I first started out, my shopping time was around 80 to 90 seconds, and now I've gotten it down to around 55 seconds, and I try to keep it there. I actually can shop faster or slower if I want, and I try to keep it around a certain number just because I have some theories that maybe it has something to do with the orders I see, but there's no proof to that. But once you learn a store, and the faster you get, the less it matters about how many items are in the order. Because when you first start out, 30 items may take you a really long time, but once you learn the store, learn where things are, you can be a lot faster and get the orders done so much quicker. And if you do orders faster, that means you can complete more and earn more throughout the day. The next thing is taking bad orders. It's a little harder to gauge whether an order is good or bad in comparison to, let's say, DoorDash, where you can be like, oh, I'm only going to take orders that are at least $2 per mile that I'm driving. When it comes to Instacart, it's a little more complicated because some stores are a lot bigger than other stores, some are more busy, some don't have self-checkout, and so you have to wait in lines. There are a ton of factors determining how long it's going to take to shop and order, but as you get more experience, you get more familiar with the area and the stores and the items, you can kind of figure out how long about an order is going to take you. But never take an order like this. I don't care if the groceries are being delivered to the person inside the store. I'm not doing, obviously you can create your own guidelines for what you're going to accept and not accept, but personally, it's just not happening. But you want to keep in mind how long it's going to take for you to drive to the store, how long it's going to take for you to drive customer, how long it's going to take for you to shop and check out and drive back to where other stores are if necessary, if there isn't a store near the customer you're delivering to where you can get more orders. Also, if there's deli items or things that have to be made, it's also going to take longer. But just pay attention to the time it takes to complete the first few orders that you're doing, and eventually you'll figure out what you like and don't like in terms of orders. Another big mistake I see being made is taking multiple store or multiple customer orders. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't ever take them, but when it comes to multiple store orders, if you're going to 2 grocery stores, you're gonna have to pay me a lot of money to do that. And again, you can set your own guidelines, your own rule for what orders you want to accept and decline, but personally, multiple store orders, I think I've only done twice, and the only time that I'll do it again is if it is a grocery store and let's say a pharmacy that's right in the same parking lot as the store and it's only a few items. That's pretty much the only way I'm going to do multiple stores. When it comes to multiple customers, the problem is now you're dealing with multiple people at once, you're dealing with multiple chats, substitutions, items, requests. You're gonna have to check out separately. You have to sort the items in your cart, and those little things do take up a decent amount of time, more than you'd expect. Personally, I don't normally do triple customer orders. I will do double customer orders, but usually if it's only under like 30 items and the pay has to be a little bit better than if it was just one customer, because I am gonna be dealing with 2 people and 2 checkouts and separating the cart and so on. It's also very common for multiple customer orders to have one person who tipped and someone who didn't. They try to bundle the orders together so that they get taken, and unfortunately, people who don't tip oftentimes leave bad reviews and are just rude altogether, and they're kind of hard to shop for. It's not always true, of course, but a lot of the time it is the case, and so sometimes it just causes more problems to have multiple customers as opposed to just one. Like I said, you can create your own guidelines, and I myself do multiple customer orders, but when it comes to triples, the pay has to be really good and the items has to be pretty low. Another thing is making bad substitution. Now, I'm sure everyone has seen on TikTok, Reddit, YouTube, people showing things that their shoppers substitute an item for, and sometimes it's absurd. But the general rule for me is that I will offer things that are just pretty much the same if I can find them, and I'll send a picture, ask the customer if they like anything they see in the picture, or ask if there's something else they want me to check for. Communication is definitely key, and I think a lot of shoppers miss out on that part because people who order Instacart, they want communication. They want to know if things are being substituted. They want to see their options. You are in the store for them, so they can't see what is there. And although yes, customers can put in a replacement option, and it does save shoppers a lot of time when people do that, a lot of people unfortunately don't. And so it's up to you if you want to message them or not. Personally, I message the customer most times unless they leave a note saying I can make whatever substitutions I want, or if I've shopped the customer before and I know what they like. But that type of stuff kind of comes with experience. Another thing is bagging. I feel like it is slightly a skill, but you do have to practice to get good at it. And I can't tell you how many customers I've had compliment me on my bagging. Bagging to customers is super important. So make sure the bags aren't too heavy, too full, ripping, nothing's getting squished or broken. You do want to be mindful of how you're bagging the things, and although my bagging, I would say, is pretty near perfect, I have gotten pretty fast at it, so it doesn't have to take you a long time to bag it. And what you can actually do while you're shopping the order is put like items together in the cart so that when you're checking out and bagging, if you're doing self-checkout, it'll be really easy to just grab all the items that are going in the same bag at once. Another thing is communication. I always send an intro text when I go into the store. I send the one that says like short and sweet, I think it's called, but I always send an intro text right when I get into the store, and if there's any substitutions, I communicate that, or anything else that happens in the order, but not too much. I don't overdo it with the communication because a lot of the time people are ordering Instacart because they're busy and they can't go to the store themselves, so they don't want to be bothered with 15-20 different messages in one grocery shopping trip. So I try to condense it a little bit, and I don't go overboard. I mostly only send the intro text and the substitutions, but I find that people really appreciate an intro text, and especially the substitution messages. And of course, it's always important to handle the groceries with care, and when you deliver the stuff, don't leave them in front of the door. Keep them off to the side where the person can easily open the door and grab their groceries, because otherwise they can't open the door. If you would like another video of more tips and tricks or beginner mistakes or how to maintain a good 5-star rating on Instacart, comment down below, or any other video suggestions you have or want to see. But I think I covered a decent amount of things in this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.